Hello again, this is Joe Roberts with the continuation of my series on the Tekkit pack. This time I'm going to be covering a very useful topic called automatic crafting tables, and here you go right there. An automatic crafting table is basically two things. It is a chest and it is a crafting table all in one, similar to the project table. However, unlike the project table, it actually builds things automatically. If you notice, these two wooden planks go in here, and then it automatically creates sticks. So every time there's two wood in here, it's going to create a stick, just like that. Boom. Simple little thing in the world. Now, this is done automatically. So every time there's enough resources in here to create something, it's going to create a stick. As you can see, this might be pretty useful for things like automatic crafting, like whole machines designed to craft things from scratch, from components. If you notice, though, what's going on in this grid over here, they're phantom spaces. So you still have the 44 wood that you put into here. You could put however much wood you want in there, and then you're going to still, not use any of it. Unlike project tables, which require you to do everything. These will only create them one recipe at a time, unlike project tables, which just do everything all the time. So the way to abuse this, or rather to use it as it's intended to be used, is to deliver things to it from the side and then take them out the top. So all you need to do is send a redstone signal to that filter and it will automatically take the sticks out of here and send it to wherever you want them to go. Now this specific machine over here, I have all my project tables set up. It's an incredibly useful little setup we have going here. But the problem is circuits. Circuits take freaking forever to make, and they're required for everything. So if you want to make any kind of machine at all, you have to go and get a circuit. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this new space that I created over here, and we are going to create a machine which makes circuits. Now if you notice, I'm running this tube, this pneumatic tube, over here to my main resource area, including that chest there which has copper, which is going to be useful because the way that we're going to do all of this is that we are going to bring in items in very specific ratios, and in those ratios we're going to send them off to the automatic crafting tables and have them make their things. Now, as you notice, to bring things in a specific ratio, we use a sorting machine, because a sorting machine allows you to bring things in the amounts that they're supposed to be brought in. So, for example, in order to make a circuit, you need 1 refined iron, you need 2 redstone, you need, you need 3 copper, and you need 6 rubber. Now, every time that gets a redstone pulse, it is going to go to 1, it is going to pick up that item, and then it's going to go to the next one. And then as it continues going through that cycle, it is just going to stop if it ever doesn't have anything of a specific type. That means that this chest right here, which the sorting machine is delivering into, is not going to get overcrowded. Now, to take things out of that chest and send off to the auto crafting tables, we use a sorting machine. So the sorting machine goes right here. Make sure it's pointed in the correct direction. And then that goes off here and send things to the automatic crafting tables. Now this one is going to be making rubber. So what we do, we throw in the materials to make rubber. Or to make wire, sorry. And then boom, copper cable right there. Grab a couple of those. And then in this one, we are going to tell it take that and make circuits with it. Boom, there we go. We have a circuit. Now, this sorting machine needs to be told to send things to those specific ones. So what we're going to do is that we're going to color code everything. So white is now wire, and gray is now circuit, or everything else to make the circuit. And so white right there, we're going to tell it to bring in 6 rubber, sorry, and then 3 copper. And then this one over here, the gray, find gray, and then, where is that gray? That's gray. And then tell it to bring in 6 copper cable and refined iron, and 2 redstone. And make sure that it's set in this mode, so it takes up everything in one column and then goes to the next column. Now from here, you want everything delivered back, so set up filters. And these filters, make sure they're oriented the right direction. Now this is a feedback type machine. It uses some of the outputs of the machine to make some of the other outputs. So what we're going to do is we're going to, instead of sending this off to over there, we're going to send it off to here. And so everything coming out of these machines is then going to be fed back into this chest. And then from here, we can do something pretty cool where we send these off to here. And then, since we want it to go into this chest over here, we're going to take that circuit and we're going to put a circuit in orange. Now every time this hits, it's a 3-cycle machine. So it takes the first cycle, it takes rubber and copper, turns it into wire. The second cycle takes wire, iron, and redstone, sends it over to here, makes a circuit, and the third cycle it takes this circuit and sends it off to orange. Now all we need to do is make sure that the sorting machine has power, excuse me, and the power, yeah, there we go, and get a redstone pulse to all of this. So I'm going to just run it off of the cables that we have over here. Give me a sec where I put my redstone tube. There we go. Redstone tube. And oh, and one other thing. We might want to make sure things don't get delivered into the battery by mistake, so add one of those panels onto the battery. Now you see this sorting machine is picking things up from all these machines over here, sending it to these guys over here, and then the sorting machine, which isn't being powered right now. There we go. Now the sorting machine is being powered, and it's sending it off to here. And then the wire gets sent back to here, and goes into that chest, and then it sends out a package over there, and then the finished circuit goes over here, and finally gets delivered into that chest. And then see, the whole thing is completely automatic. It is creating circuits basically from nothing. Now this machine isn't exactly perfect for 2 reasons. The first one is this chest doesn't have an excess of stuff to work with. What that means is that this sorting machine is waiting until this chest has what it needs before it's sending things out to these. So it basically is waiting a lot of the time for the sorting machine to deliver stuff to the retriever to deliver stuff to the sorting machine before it can do. Way to solve that, just put an excess of materials in here, an excess of wire, copper, rubber, redstone, and iron, and then the sorting machine will never have to wait for the retriever to deliver things to it. Secondly, this is what is called a 3-cycle machine, basically. If you notice, the sorting machine has 3 different stages in which it goes through. One to create wire, one to create iron, and one to create a circuit. And all that we have this doing is that these filters are only working once every 3 cycles. Now, this is going to make something instantly. As soon as something gets taken out of this finished slot like that, then this is going to make another one. But this is only working, a 1/3 capacity. So what do? We go over here, we get more copper, we get more rubber, and we turn it from a 1-cycle machine into a 3-cycle machine like it's supposed to be. So instead of taking in 6, we are now going to take in 12 and 9 and 6 and 3. Now this is taking in enough resources to make 3, and then we're going to make that send out 9, and that send out 18, right? Yeah, 18. And then this one, give me just a second here. And now, if you notice, this is going to send out enough materials to make... Did I stop this thing? Yeah, see? It's going to send out enough materials to make 3 circuits. And so every single cycle of this filter, it's going to be bringing out a circuit. So we just turned this from a 1-cycle machine into a 3-cycle machine, and now instead of producing 1 circuit every 3 clock cycles, it's producing 3 circuits every clock cycles. Wonderful increase in efficiency. Be careful, you have to have your ratios exact, otherwise this chest gets full up and the whole machine gets clogged, yada yada yada. But basically you can create a machine however many cycles you want. The maximum number of cycles for a machine is 8, because a sorting machine has 8 different slots in it, and if you notice, solars actually are going to be 8-cycle machines. I'll show you that in a later tutorial, how to make a machine which basically creates solars from component parts. But this is kind of where you start, shows you how to make a simple little machine which will create circuits from little parts, so you never have to worry about making circuits again. Basic tutorial on auto crafting tables. Just a slight addendum on what I just did. This is actually not a 3-cycle machine, it's a 4-cycle machine. I made a mistake. See, the retriever takes 4 different items, so it has to go through 4 cycles just to make circuits. And I previously had the retriever on 3 cycles, which is not going to work because it's going to be taking resources out of this chest faster than the sorting machine will deliver to it. So what you do is you create an artificial 4th cycle by basically having this send circuits out in 2 separate things. So now this is a 4-cycle machine which creates 3 circuits every 4 cycles instead of 3 circuits every 3. Basically, you need to have a 4-cycle machine. The minimum number of cycles is the number of items that it makes, or the number of cycles that the retriever will go through. The number of items that the retriever is bringing in. So the best you can do with this thing is a 4-cycle machine, but still that's pretty good. You're creating 3 circuits every 4 cycles. Pretty fast.